Welcome to a tour of our Mass Intention software. We're going to start off by making a Mass Intention request as if we are a parishioner at your church. So we'll click Make a Request. In here we have a list of the available Masses. In this case, no one has made a request yet, so all the options are open. We'll click Request, and here we can type in our intention. We get to choose a category, and our phone number if we'd like, and we click Submit. Here we see a review of our request and an option to make a donation. We'll show you later how you as the admin get to decide where this button goes. In our case here, we have it linking to a demo donation area. If you do not already have an online donation system, we also have something like that you can add on to our software, but in most cases you'll link to your current online giving. Now what happened here is an email was sent to the administrator of the Mass Intention software letting them know that a request has been made. So let's go ahead and log in as the admin and take a look at that request. So you saw how easy that was to do for the person making the request. And now we are logging in as the admin, and we see that this first Mass has a pending status. So we can click on it and we can approve the status or not approve it. If we don't approve it, it's removed from the system and a very neutral, nice, polite email is sent to the person who made the request, letting them know that it wasn't approved, and that could be for a variety of reasons. Or we can approve it. We can also edit any part of the intention, so if there was a typo or something needs to be made more brief, we can make that change in here. Down here there'll be a place to make more official records about when the Mass was celebrated and things like that, but we can't get to that area until we have approved the intention, so we'll go ahead and approve it. And now an email was sent to the person who made the request letting them know that it was approved, and then here in our admin area we see that it was approved. If we click edit again, we now have access to this area where we could say that the celebrant was whoever it was, and we could make any notes about the date or location or whether a card was mailed, or any notes we want to make can be added in here. We'll go ahead and just put in this example and click save, and then we can go back, and now we see that this Mass has been recorded. We also have the option of exporting each month to a CSV or Excel file, and then we have a handy print feature here. We'll show you that in a minute as we've added in a few more intentions. Let's look at what it is like to add a Mass when you are the administrator. When you receive this, there won't be any Masses loaded in there. So you go in, it's very simple. Let's say we're going to add a Sunday Mass that begins at 11 a.m. A note is where you might enter something like the location. Some churches have Masses in more than one location on their campus, or if you are part of a cluster of parishes, this is where you might add a note such as that this particular Mass is at St. John's instead of at St. Michael's. So if you have multiple locations on campus or multiple campuses, multiple actual locations, you still can use this software. This is what the note field is for, and that will show up when the person is making the request. We won't do that now, but that feature is there. Repeat is how many times this is going to be sent out into the schedule. So if you always have a 11 a.m. Mass and you want to go ahead and make it available for the next year, you could enter this repeat by 52. In this case, we're just going to do 5 times to load up the next 5. And then here is a very nice feature that is new. Some churches have some Masses that have more than one Mass intention. Here's a note about that. They are called collective Masses, and some dioceses allow them, some churches do them. if you are going to have a collective mass, this is where you can decide how many intentions are going to be accepted at this mass. And in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to demonstrate that. So we'll do it just once. We'll say we're having a special mass that can have multiple intentions, and we're going to click Save. You don't have to use this feature. Most of the time you'll have one mass intention, so you won't do anything here. But if you do have collective masses, you do have the ability to receive intentions for those masses inside our software. Okay, so we're going to do one of those now and click Save. And we see now there's a special note telling us this is a collective mass, that it can receive more than one intention. And what's going to happen is, because there's more than one intention, we're going to have to click further to see those intentions. So let's go back out and make a new request. Here we're receiving a note that this is a collective mass. Again, collective masses are optional. You don't have to use them, but if you do have them at your church, we have that feature. Let's make the request. The user is being told it's a collective mass, and we're going to make this request. And click Submit. Again, same confirmation as before. And let's go check things out as an admin, and we see that we have one pending for our collective, and the collective masses now show in this area, and everything functions the same. You can approve that particular intention, and for each individual intention you now have the ability to edit and approve the intention and make a record for that individual intention at the collective mass. And then you also have a record for the collective mass as a whole. Again, collective masses are optional, but if you do have them, our software can handle them. Let's go take a look at the admin settings. This is the name and email address that will go out with the approvals or non-approvals. And here are some general settings. If you want, you can ask for the mailing address on the request form. So that would allow you to send out a card if you want to ask for an address. And then here's a very neat feature. The system can send a reminder to the person who made the request. So if you want those reminders to go out, you do that here. This is where you paste in the link to your online giving or donation area so that they can enter the stipend for the mass. And then if you want to put your own note above that donation button, you can put your own note in here. By default, we have a very nice note that appears, but if you want to override that and have your own note, you can do that. Let's go back out and make a couple more requests so that you can see what it looks like when printing or viewing these. Okay, we went ahead and added those new intentions off screen so that you didn't have to watch them all. Here's those new intentions that came through. So we've logged in as the admin, and this might be a very real experience for you where you log in and see a few are pending. So we'll look them over and approve them. We're going to keep that where it was, approved. And approved. Okay, and now we're going to take a look at what it's like to export this file. Okay, here's the file that was exported. So it's a nice CSV file with all the fields. I've opened it up here in Excel to take a look at it, and we have the church name and the month up here, and then we have our different columns. And you see all the information is here. So this is one way that you can save this information. We have only recorded one, remember, and so there's the record, but as others get recorded, the record would appear down there. Alright, we'll go back and look at the other ways to view the data. Okay, so we just looked at exporting to a spreadsheet. Now let's look at the bulletin or print mode. This is a very nice feature that will make your life or your bulletin person's life a lot easier. We click on this, And here we can set the date range of what appears below. So we're going to go do April here. So we're doing the whole month of April. Click Submit. And two things have happened down here. One, we see the date, the time, the day, the mass intention, and the category. So you see the living and deceased appear. And what we have is a print button. So you can click print and it will just print this little bit of text. We'll click that and you'll get a preview of the print here. So you see, very, very simple, very easy to print. You could put this somewhere at your church, or somewhere available that people need to see it. Sometimes the celebrant needs a copy, or you keep a copy handy for the celebrant to see. If you do have multiple locations, you may need to send a copy with the celebrant. So very simple here appearance of the intentions, the times, and the category. Also, we made this very simple so that you could just copy and paste it. So what we had in mind here was the bulletin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it into a Word file just to show you how nicely it copies and pastes. Okay, here's the Word file. So this could be your bulletin or anywhere that you're trying to move this content. And I'm just going to do Control V to paste it, and there it is. Very simple text, no extra formatting added. So very easy for you to copy and paste the mass intentions from our system to anywhere else you might want to put them. Maybe you want to copy and paste and put them right on your website. You could do that. However, you can also link to our system because the intentions are viewable online as well. Okay, so back here, this is the easy bulletin print view where we can change the date range and then do our copying and pasting and printing. Here's a nice note that I was mentioning before, and that is that you can share this link on your website if you want. You see the public view does start to show the intention. So you could do the copy and pasting to your website like we showed, or you could just take the public link for this, which you'll receive when you sign up, and you can link to this on your website, and that way the intentions are visible and the ability to make requests are visible. But there is even another feature that is very handy for helping you get this information into your bulletin. Let's go back to here. We're going to change our date range. And again, you can do this for any date range that you want. Here is a special link that you could share. Let's say that you are administrating this, but you are not the bulletin person, but you want to make it very easy for the bulletin person to get to this. But you don't want to give the bulletin person login information. You can just send your bulletin person this special link, and I'm going to paste it into the browser here. You can't see that. And what has happened is we've taken the bulletin person right to this page, and then they, anytime they want, since they have access to this link, they can do their own queries and they can do the copying and pasting or printing. So the person who has the password and the access to all of this does not have to be the same person who can get to this bulletin print area. So it's a very neat feature that allows you as the administrator to be able to edit and approve and officially record and even export. But for the copying and pasting, the sort of publishing side of things, you are able to share that internally without giving access to this area. And we'll just go ahead again and take a look at what it's like for the user. Here the user is able to see that these masses already have an intention, and they can see for which ones they are available. When the number that you've required for your collective is met, so let's say you allow 5 mass intentions, when the collective gets to those 5, this button will go away. And again, collectives are an optional feature. We'll go back and look at the admin area one more time. Take a look at the settings. Again, you can change your contact info and then a few settings here that are made public. I hope this helps. Thanks so much.